Hi, I'm Brenda Wilk with the College Cost and Planning Solution and 21 Finance, and I'm here to talk with you about assessing college affordability. So let's get started. All right, so full disclosure, I am in the same place as probably many of you right now. I have a son who's a senior in high school, and we're getting to the end of the season of figuring out where our high school seniors are going to be going to school next year, those that are planning to go to college. And it's a very exciting time of year, an exciting time of life, really. So I am excited. I know you're probably excited for your kids. But there's one thing that we need to make sure before we accept a spot at a school is that the school is affordable for us. So I know I'm doing that. Been going through all these steps with my son, and our family is going through this. So I'm here to help you and your family walk through the steps and understand what you need to do to make sure that the school that you're accepting is going to be affordable for you. So let me there we go. Like I said, I'm Brenda Wilk. I have two high school students, myself and the family. I've been a financial coach for 5 years, and before that, I was a financial planner. I am certified as a certified financial planner through the CFP board since 2013. I have an MBA. And I chose to enter this field of financial coaching for college-bound students and their families because as a financial coach, I've worked with so many students who were on the other side of the equation, who had already been to college, probably didn't make the best financial decision for themselves, and ended up with a lot of student loans and were in a really tough spot. And those are difficult conversations to have. And so my goal is to help prevent as many students as possible from getting into that spot, that place where they're over their head in student loans and, and other obligations that inhibit them from enjoying a healthy and, enjoyable financial future. So I started 21 Finance is the name of my company, and I have a program called the College Cost and Planning Solution as part of that. So today we're going to be talking about three things, really. Figuring out what your bottom line for each school is. Sometimes you have to do some adjusting to the financial award letters that they give you to figure out exactly what you're being awarded. Some research into what they've given you. All the schools are going to look a little different. So we want to figure out what the bottom line is, add up what your resources are that you can help with paying for college, and then assess the gap. And let's get into it. So figuring out the bottom line for each school. So schools offers can be presented in a lot of different ways, and there's really no standard template for schools to use. So they have that leaves you with a little bit of work to do when you get your offer letters to figure out what it all means. You want to make sure you nail down which costs represent free money for college. Grants and scholarships would be examples of that, and which represent money that you either have to work for, like work study, or loans that you have to pay back. You also want to make sure with each award that you are given, whether it is a one-time award for the first year only, or if it's renewable for 4 years. Typically, the financial awards are given on a year-by-year basis, and the financial need awards, and the merit aid awards a lot of times are renewable, but you want to double check on that. Look at the language of the award. If you need to call the school, talk to someone there to get to the bottom of everything, then definitely do that before you make a final decision. And then after you have the total cost for all 4 years, you can start applying any grants or scholarships you're being offered against the cost. And again, make sure you take out anything that's not a grant or scholarship, that's not free money at this point. So you're going to be taking the total cost for all 4 years. You're going to be subtracting out the grants and scholarships, and that gives you the bottom line. So that is the bottom line for in each school. You can do that for every school that you've been accepted to. The next step is to add up your resources. So this is where you figure out how much you, your student, your maybe grandparents, other family members, friends, if whoever is willing to help contribute to the cost of college for your family, you're going to add all that up. This could include savings that you've accumulated for college, to pay for your child's college, and just make sure that the savings that you're using will not be needed for other financial goals, especially for retirement. You can add in their own ongoing savings. So if you've been accustomed to putting $200 a month into a college savings account, maybe you can continue doing that during college, and that'll increase that savings amount a little bit. Savings you're going to see through reduced expenses. So if your student's not living at home during college, how much are you going to save on your grocery bill? Maybe how much are you going to save from them not being in their extracurriculars or their sports activities that you've been used to paying for? So you can kind of estimate those amounts that you're used to paying for. You won't have those expenses anymore, and you can throw that into the amount that you can help contribute to the cost of college. And then you can add in an amount that your student may be willing to work for, and in the case of them applying for private scholarships. And then also the amount that your student may be able to earn from summer jobs or working part-time during school and that kind of thing. So in order to calculate the gap, you're going to take the bottom line that the total cost for each school that you calculated in the first formula. You're going to subtract out all of the resources that you added together for all 4 years of school, and you get the gap. This is how much you've got to come up with in some other form, some other resource. This is typically what people borrow in the form of student loans, but we'll talk more about that. So the next step is going to be to assess that gap. So this, like I said, this represents the borrowing, the amount that you might have to borrow for in the form of student loans, federal or private student loans to pay for school. Just remember, if you're borrowing money, the amount you have to pay back will likely be much higher than the amount you borrow because of interest. So you're actually, the loans are increasing the cost of school for you. And then also remember that loan payments can definitely hinder your ability to reach other financial goals that you may have. And in some cases, hinder your ability to pay basic living expenses. So that's why you want to think really long and hard and do some more number crunching to figure out just how much are you willing to borrow, how much are you comfortable with borrowing. So you want to consider the offers you have and how much you would need to borrow for each offer, and weigh that against your feelings about taking on that debt. There are a few tiers that you might use as a guide. You may fall, under one of these tiers in terms of how you feel about debt. Tier one, is that you don't want to take any debt. You're not comfortable with taking out debt. You don't want to have that strain, and you're willing to compromise if need be, or come up with another plan to pay for college. Tier two would be that you're willing to pay up to the amount that you can borrow from the federal government, which is about $27,000 for the first 4 years of college. And this is the most flexible type of debt you can take out. So it's generally, it's the first stop in student loans. So that you may decide, hey, if I'm willing to take up to that amount, but no more. Or tier three might be that you're willing to take up to the amount that you're expecting to earn your first year out of college, which is typically seen as a somewhat manageable payment. But again, this is, for somebody who's willing to be, making a pretty decent sized student loan payment for at least 10 years after school ends, and is okay with making financial sacrifices to pay that debt off. What if you do this calculation, you decide you're willing to take, you're in tier 1, 2, or 3, and in terms of student loan debt, and you're willing to take, and you still have a gap between what you're willing to take in loans and what the resources you add up that your family can pull together to pay. What if there's still a gap there? Well, it happens. This is when you've got to really ask yourself the tough questions. How bad do you want it? How much are you willing to compromise to make it happen? Can you think outside the box to come up with other strategies? I tell you, I have, talked to a lot of high school students who had very specific plans, knowing they were going to have to pay a significant amount for college, and they came up with ways to make it work. So, if you're willing to think outside of the box, willing to come up with some creative strategies, willing to work hard, full-time job over the summer, part-time during school, willing to, do what it takes, make some sacrifices here and there, you might be able to put together a plan that works. If you're not sure that you can know how to put together such a plan, or even feel comfortable going through all of these steps, or just want another ear to hear what your plan is and see and do a gut check. Is this doable for my family? Can we do this and still may reach all our other financial goals? Please get in touch. You can reach me at the website 21finance.xyz, and you can schedule a call with me. My calendar's right there. You can sign up for a call. Free consultation just to talk it through, see if there's any way that I can help with any guidance. I've worked with a lot of people over the years. These are just some reviews that I've gotten from coaching clients in the past, and there are many more where that came from, but I think you'll find that if you decide that you need someone to kind of walk with you through this process, then reach out. I'm happy to talk with you about what I can do to help. And you can learn more again about me at 21finance.xyz. Just click here to book a call, and then book a call with me. Easy as that. So short and sweet video there. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if I can help in any other ways. Have a great day.